Hi friends, welcome back to a story retell day. Our story that we read yesterday, The Tiny Seed. Okay, so we read this story before. The author and illustrator are Eric Carle. The same person drew the pictures and wrote the words for The Tiny Seed. So let's think back yesterday. The tiny seed sleeps in the ground over the winter, and when the spring came, the seeds burst open to grow into a plant. I want you to think. Can you remember what happens when the seed bursts? Go ahead and tell me, or your learning coach at home, before we start reading. Yeah. Oh my goodness, right. Good job. And then a tiny plant grows so big that people come from all over to see the giant plant. Think. Tell me, or your learning coach at home, why do so many people come to see that giant plant? Yeah, right. Great answers. All right, friends. So today, as I read the story, The Tiny Seed, you're going to pretend you're the tiny seed as I read the story. So you're going to act like the tiny seed, okay? So whatever the tiny seed is doing in the story, you're going to move your body to act like the tiny seed. All right, let's get started. Here we go. All right, pretend you are all the tiny seed as I read. It is autumn. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. One of the seeds is tiny, smaller than any of the others. Will it be able to keep up with the others? And where are they all going? One of these seeds flies higher than the other. Up it goes. It flies too high and the sun's hot rays burn it up. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. Another seed lands on a tall and icy mountain. The ice never melts, and the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, but the tiny seed does not go as fast as the others. Now they fly over the ocean. One seed falls into the water and drowns. The others sail on with it, but the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. Remember, you guys are pretending to be the tiny seed. One seed drifts down onto the desert. It is hot and dry, and the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. Finally, the wind stops and the seeds fall gently down onto the ground. A bird comes by and eats one seed. The tiny seed is not eaten. It is so small that the bird does not see it. Ooh, are you guys so small that a bird can't see you right now? Now it is winter. After their long trip, the seed settles down. They look just as if they are going to sleep in the earth. Snow falls on them and covers them like a soft white blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats the seed for its lunch, but the tiny seed lies very still and the mouse does not see it. Now it is spring. After a few months, the snow has melted. It is really spring. Birds fly by, the sun shines, rain falls, the seeds grow so round and full they start to burst open a little. Ooh, there's that word burst that we learn. Now they are not seeds anymore. They are plants. First, they send roots down into the earth. Okay, put your roots down into the earth. Pretend you're the seed. We're planting our roots down into the earth. Okay. Then their little stems and leaves begin to grow up toward the sun and air. And leaves begin to grow. Oh, there is another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It is a big, fat weed, and it takes all the sunlight and rain away from one of the small plants, and that little plant dies. The tiny seed hasn't begun to grow yet. It will be too late. Hurry! But it finally starts to grow into a plant. Okay, tiny seeds at home, you guys are pretending to grow into a small little plant. The warm weather also brings the children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun in springtime. One child doesn't see the plants as he runs along and, oh, He breaks one. Now it cannot grow anymore. The tiny plant that grew from a tiny seed is growing fast, but its neighbor grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 new leaves, the other plant has 7. And look, a bud. Now even a flower. But what is happening? First there are footsteps, then a shadow looms over them, then a hand reaches down and breaks off the flower. A boy has picked the flower to give to a friend. It is summer. Now the tiny plant from the tiny seed is all alone, and it grows on and on. It doesn't stop. The sun shines on it. The rain waters it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller. It is taller than the people. It is taller than the trees. It is taller than the houses. And now a flower grows on it. People come from far and near to look at this flower. It is the tallest flower they have ever seen. It is a giant flower. Beautiful. All summer long, the birds and bees and butterflies come visiting. They have never seen such a big, beautiful flower. Now it is autumn again. The days grow shorter, the nights grow cooler, and the wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. Some petals drop from the giant flower, and they sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down the ground. The wind blows harder. The flower has lost almost all of its petals. It sways and bends away from the wind, but the wind grows stronger and shakes the flower. Once more, the wind shakes the flower, and this time the flower's seed pod opens. Out come many tiny seeds that quickly sail far away into the wind. The end. All right, boys and girls, I had so much fun rereading The Tiny Seed with you all. I can't wait to see what our next story is going to be for Star Story, and I will see you then. Bye, friends.